Earlier there was a question about whether Killer Ace's family was having access to him, and I just wanted to say that yeah, they are having they are having access to him, but there was something happened on, I think it was Friday. He was denied visitation. Saturday? It was a Saturday. Yeah, he was having visits until on Saturday when he was denied visitation. They said until today. But we went there today and we saw him, and he's in good condition. And of course, high spirits too. And I wanted to put it out there that we've been working on the issue of Kebaseka and Dabo. But Dabo's case, because we had a family and nationality complications, so we couldn't proceed when it comes to his issue. But for Keba, we have a petition out there. It's online. You can check it on the Team Gumsabopa page for you to sign, so that we can make sure we bring those who are responsible for his death be brought to justice. So we're going to move on. We'll have Madi to give a short statement. Then we will have Flex deliver the Gumsabopa statement.
Thank you. Yes, I prepared a statement. I think the matter at hand is such that, yeah, we got to be prepared for this. So let me start to say, first of all, I wish to state up front that my interest here is to ensure justice and the respect for the constitutionally guaranteed fundamental human rights and freedoms in accordance with the rule of law. At the same time, let me also state up front that I totally and unreservedly condemn acts of arson, riot, vandalism, looting, and indeed any acts of violence in expressing our grievances. As a republic, each and every government citizen is an embodiment of sovereignty in which all are equal before the law. Our law enforcement and justice delivery systems are founded on and guided by the constitutional principle of presumption of innocence and fair trial and equality before the law. Hence, the case that we are faced with at the moment speaks directly to these issues that we must address if we wish to ensure a just, prosperous, and peaceful society as enshrined in the preamble of the 1997 Constitution, and to ensure that anyone who breaks the law face the full force of the law in the appropriate and legal manner. Based on the foregoing, these are the concerns I have with the matter at hand in the interest of justice and the rule of law. One, we know that some time ago, the late Usman Dabo was arrested by the anti-crime unit and detained and then released on bail after a few days. Since his release, his wife, friends, and colleagues have reported that Usman alleged to have been tortured. His wife indicated that her husband had felt bodily pain before his death. Hence, there is strong allegation that Usman was tortured, causing his death. For that matter, it is necessary that a coroner's inquest be held so as to determine the circumstances of Usman's death, so that it would be clear if he died as a result of torture by officers of the anti-crime unit or not. Since his demise, we have seen no effort or indication that there is a coroner's inquest. Similarly, we have seen no indication that the President has appointed a deputy coroner as required by the Coroner's Act under Section 3, subsection 2. Therefore, as citizens, we must demand for a coroner's inquest. According to the Coroner's Act, the coroner for Banjul City and Kanifi Municipality shall be a magistrate of the first class. We ask, who is the coroner in this case? Number two, on 26 July 2019, the Ministry of Interior issued a press release on the death of Usman Dabo and stated this, I quote, "Therefore, a committee of independent investigators from all the security sectors has been constituted to thoroughly investigate and determine whether Mr. Dabo was tortured as alleged. Should the investigations reveal that he died as a result of torture, those implicated will face the full force of the law." Since then, 38 days to today, we have not seen any update from the ministry as to the composition of that committee, or whether the committee has started work or not, or the availability of the findings of the committee to date. Why is that the case? We therefore demand that the ministry immediately tell Gambians who are the members of that committee. When did they start work? And have they completed their work or shared with the citizens the findings and recommendations of that investigation, and what actions the ministry has taken so far to ensure accountability? We cannot and must not allow the police to only focus on the protest of July 24, during which some houses were put on fire, yet the police and the government failed to act on the incidents that gave rise to that protest in the first place. Much as we need to bring arsonists to book, at the same time, there must also be justice for Usman Dabo. One cannot take place at the expense of the other. We need justice for both at the same time. 3, given the foregoing, transparency and accountability in line with the rule of law should have guided the IGP and the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General to exercise wisdom and discretion by waiting until the coroner's inquest and the Minister of Interior's investigation were completed first, before arresting and charging youths for an alleged crime that happened as a result of the arrest, detention, and alleged torture of Usman Dabo. In light of the foregoing, I wish to demand that the IGP and the Attorney General to withdraw charges against these youths immediately. 4, since the July 24 protest in Serakunda, we did not see neither the police nor the Minister of Interior issue any public statement that they will conduct an investigation into the burning down of Officer Gorgim Boob's house. Hence, how come the police went ahead to arrest a group of youths for that case when no such investigation was conducted to the knowledge of the general public? But the ministry did announce that they will investigate the death of Usman Dabo. But then we are yet to see any investigation report, nor any arrest for that incident. Why? Number 5, we saw the IGP took the arrested youths before a magistrate's court for a crime that carries life imprisonment, that is arson, which is a crime that is triable only at the High Court. Therefore, I demand that the IGP explain why this matter was taken before a magistrate's court, which has no jurisdiction whatsoever to try such a crime. Indeed, by taking this matter before such a court means a direct violation of the rights of these youths. Number 6, for that matter, the Chief Justice must act to review the remand order of the magistrate, who by all indication did not take the plea of the accused persons, that she did not have jurisdiction. The Chief Justice, as a superior judge, has supervisory powers over lower courts. He should have ordered the magistrate to vary, or change her order to free these youths on bail until the matter is mentioned in the proper court. On the other hand, the Chief Justice could have also changed the decision by himself or asked any High Court judge to do so. Therefore, why has the Chief Justice failed to do so? Number 7, from information I have on this matter, some of these arrested youths were never present when Gorgim Boob's house was burned down or Bakwata police station was ransacked. A lady who approached me gave all indications that her husband was at home on that fateful day with her when the protest was unfolding. On that fateful day and the day after, her husband did not go to work at Serakunda Market because she was sick. And her husband was taking care of her at home. Today, her husband is at Mile 2. Therefore, I demand that a proper investigation be conducted so as to ensure that no one is unjustly punished. Number 8, on the particular case of Killer Ace, there is more than enough public evidence that he was never present at Gorgim Boob's house, nor at Bakwata police station at any time on July 24. His many videos on that day attested to this fact. All that we saw was his vocal stance for accountability, for police brutality, and the protection of human rights. Therefore, how come Killer Ace is charged with such a capital offense as arson? 9, we also know that the Serakunda protest was a spontaneous action triggered by the death of Usman Dabo for being allegedly tortured by the anti-crime unit. Hence, it is utterly surprising to see that the police have arrested only 36 youths and charged them with unlawful assembly, as if these were the only youths who took part in that protest. Why arrest only 36 people and not the rest of the hundreds of other people who also took part in that same assembly? Number 10, above all, Why would any Gambian be charged with unlawful assembly ever again in this country? A practice we saw employed by the dictatorship to deny Gambians from holding the state accountable. In 2018, the Minister of Justice said in a public forum at the University of the Gambia Law Faculty that his ministry will not enforce such provisions in the obnoxious Public Order Act, just to ensure that fundamental rights and freedoms are respected and protected. In his manifesto, candidate Adama Barrow said upon winning the elections, he will repeal the Public Order Act within 6 months, just to enhance democracy, human rights, and popular participation. Therefore, why is the government still using this same Public Order Act to charge citizens with unlawful assembly? Fellow Gambians, I wish to us all to realize that what has happened in this case is a typical malpractice we saw happening all the time under the dictatorship. The system continues until today unabated, and this is unacceptable. Therefore, I wish to call on all Gambians to demand that the state, especially our law enforcement and justice delivery institutions, respect and abide by the rule of law to protect human rights and safeguard the peace and stability of this country. We must not allow the police to destroy the lives and future of our youth by imposing on them trumped-up charges. I do not support and will never encourage arson, looting, vandalism, riot in any way and for any reason. However, I will not stand by to watch the lives of young citizens being damaged by the state just like that. We expect the Gambia government to respect and protect our lives, property, and liberty. In that crusade, we shall give all necessary support and honor to our law enforcement. Therefore, we demand that the Gambia Police Force and the entire state abide by the rule of law at all times in maintaining law and order. This is what will ensure peace and security in our country and also make our citizens to have the necessary trust and confidence in our law enforcement and justice delivery institutions. Therefore, I demand the IGP and the Attorney General review this case all over again to ensure that no human right is violated while making sure justice prevails. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jubate, for those powerful statements. And I think we have to move fast now. I'll now invite Yai Victim Center. We're going to Mami Cisse. She'll, I think, Mom Nawasi Olaf. She have a short statement to give.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bolom fi man la Mami Cisse jógee ci Victim Center bi. Di nuyu ñi fi daje yépp di fàttaliwaat suñ bopp rek lan moo ñu fi dajale tey mooy ne du bànneex am na ku dee am na ñu jóg di ko xeex ñu ñàpp ci seen kaw denc leen ci kaso yi te foog naa loolu du lu war a am mbir nag su amee te waruta am ñépp dañ war a taxaw nekku ne kii politicien la walla kii lii la foog naa ñun ñépp dañ war a jàngee ci li passé comme ni ma koy waxee rek Gambian citizen bi war naa jàngee ci nguuri Yaaya Jammeh comme xaajale bi ñu doon xaajale waaye Gambia government bi fi toog itam war naa jàngee ci nguuri Yaaya Jammeh lu bon li mu fi nekkee woon ñu moytu ko kenn mënut a forcer doomu aadama dugal ko ci sa poos dangay defantee nit ñi bu jàkk may leen respect ñu may la respect waaye doo mun a def nit lu bon ne ko tëjal sa gémmiñ gi loolu passé nañ bés boobu fi mu nekk nii dama bëgg rek maa ngi koy commencé ci Victim Center bi mboolem koo xam ne victime nga rek dama bëgg ñun ñëpp ñu jàppante buñ nangu lu ñu xaajale nañ jàppoo ba dëgër mbooloo mooy doole benn waaye dama ne Gambie yépp nañ booloo ñu nekk benn ñu jàppante comme ni ko xale yi waxee rek soo laalee kenn laal nga ñëpp buñ defee loolu dinañ am doole bu baax te lépp luñ bëgg dinañ ko am waaye buñ dugalee xaajaloo ci suñ diggante rek yàqal nañ ñu tasaare nañ ñu ñun duñ mun a am liñ bëgg waaye dama defee ne itam Gambia government ñoom ñaanuma leen de dama leen di digal xëy na nag duma dara pour digal leen waaye war nañoo seetaat seen bopp bu baax lan moo fi génnee Yaaya Jammeh ñan ñoo fi génnee Yaaya Jammeh doomi Gambie yi ñoo taxaw génnee fi Yaaya Jammeh doomi Gambie yi ñoo leen fi teg ñoom kon ñoom dañu war a respect loolu xam ne doomi Gambie yi ñoo leen fi teg waruñoo def dara loo xam ne lii dafay indi jafe-jafe suñ diggante ak ñoom ndax ku nekk da nga bëgg a dëkk ci jàmm moo dàq yépp waaye su fekkee ne tey nga def lii ëllëg nga def lale nit ñi duñ la bàyyi ci sa jàmm yow doo mën a noppiloo nit ñi kon daal ci gàttal mooy ne ñun ñëpp nañ mànkoo ñu nekk benn màgget ñi jigéen ñi yuut si ñëpp nañ nekk benn suñ nekkee benn liñ bëgg dinañ ko am government bi ñun ñoo leen fa teg police yi ñun ñoo leen di fay police yi dañ war a amal seen bopp xel waruñoo jàpp seen doomi réew yi di leen dóor di leen def naka su noonu nit da nga war a am sa xeli bopp même kii la nguur gi la fi teg su la nee dóoral kii defal li yow waruloo koo nangu ëllëg si biir coono bi yow yaa ciy mujj kon daal ci gàttal ma emale foofu suma wax ji maa ngi leen di nuyu di leen sant yéen ñëpp jërë ngeen jëf waaye bëgg naa daal képp koo xam ne doomi Gambien na nga jóg taxaw li fi xewoon bu mu fi xewaat seetaan moo taxoon li fi xew fi kon nag buñ ko nangooti ñun ñëpp nañ jàppante ñu dëgër wasalaam.
jërëjëf Yaaboy sa kaddu yi rafet nañ torop. And I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow is the court hearing. It's going to be at 9 a.m. at the Kanifing Magistrates Court. Now we'll have Flex deliver the statement, but before that I want to thank each and everyone that has been helping the youths that are in custody, especially the youth movements that have been together with us, helping us doing all the things that we have been doing since they have been arrested, like Power of Freedom, Occupy Westfield, and of course the individual youths that has been helping us out. We can't thank you enough, but we are all in this together. So, Mr. Flex.
Thank you very much for all the panelists, members of the media, and everybody who has come to grace this press conference. Before I start, I just felt that it's important to highlight one very important thing. We're still in a state of mourning, national mourning as a country for Sir Dawda Jawara, the first president of the Gambia. And he oversaw the Banjul Charter. It came into Gambia then. And this demonstrates his commitment to human rights. So if we can just have a minute's silence. Whilst we have a minute's silence, let us just reflect. This is an important time in our democracy. Because KILLA has stood for Keba Seka, he has stood for Usman Dabo, and many other victims before him. Are we going to stand for him also? Are we going to reaffirm our commitment to human rights, to the Banjul Charter? 1 minute silence for the first president of the Republic of the Gambia. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Before I start, I wanted to read out the speech that KILLA Ace gave outside Bigelow, anti-crime, July 24th. And this is what he said, so that his words are very clear to everybody who is trying to label him as a criminal, as somebody who is an arsonist, which is clearly not true. These are the words of KILLA Ace speaking to a senior army chief. He says, "This has been going on for more than 2 years, and that is not peace," referring to what has been happening, the death and the alleged torture. "For the interest of peace, peace has to start with the security sector, who are supposed to protect us and not treat us like animals. If they don't treat us peacefully, how can they expect us, the citizens, to act peacefully when they are supposed to lead by example? Everybody here, majority of the people here, are all responsible. People from the market who wake up every day for their daily bread. They woke up with the sad news that their colleague has died after 9 days in detention. If there is anything we should address, that should be number one on the priority. If the IGP was thinking like you, Mr. Job, who was the senior officer there, then this situation wouldn't have been on this level. As we speak, tear gas and rubber bullets are happening in Brikama simultaneously. What I want the security to understand is everyone that came here, they came with the rage of losing somebody that they have been working with on the regular basis, who died by the system that was supposed to protect him. That's the sad reality, and it is hard to actually maintain that. He said, but I plead on the youths to maintain themselves. I know they are angry. I repeat, he said, but I plead on all the youths to maintain themselves. I know they are angry. But at the same time, General, we cannot push under the rug. We've been dialoguing for many years. We've been engaging the authority for years. But the same thing happens, and they will never be changed until the perpetrators are kicked out of the system. Gorgui Mbub has to go. The IGP has to go. Those are the words of KILLA Ace. Does that sound like an arsonist to you? Or does that sound like somebody who is concerned that another person, another young person has been killed, allegedly killed? In 1 month in July, 2 people were gone. We said goodbye to 2 brothers. How many more brothers will we have to say goodbye to? The anti-crime must take responsibility for this. They are the ones who arrested KILLA Ace and many of the others on that fateful day. It's the anti-crime who arrested KILLA Ace and many of the others. So they must take responsibility for this situation right now. Gorgui Mbub is the head of anti-crime, or one of the leaders of anti-crime. We know that as a fact. And we need to reiterate, who is this man called Gorgui Mbub? He's the same individual that has been indicted in the April 10/11 Commission report. And he's the same individual who needs to come and face the TRRC so that we can know exactly what motivated him then, as a younger officer, to fire bullets at students who were supposed to go and sit their exams. Those are the kind of leaders that we have in our security forces heading anti-crime. And today, KILLA Ace is an arsonist. KILLA Ace is a criminal. In mile 2, we need to be very, very conscious of what the real narrative is. KILLA Ace is a victim here. And not only is he a victim, he's been standing for victims before him. He stood for the victim center. And he will continue to do that. Anti-crime will not be able to stop him from doing that. Our group as a movement, Team Gumsabopa, we had a press conference last month about the situation in the Gambia that led up to the protest, about Keba Seka, who was stabbed and killed. Until today, the family have not seen any remorse or condolences from the authorities. And it's on record that the press release that has been issued by the police have admitted that the killer is a security officer. The killer is a security officer. Yet still, they have not made condolences to the family of Keba Seka. His 40 days, we were there as Team Gumsabopa, whilst KILLA Ace was being dragged around from different police stations. Yet still, we were there because we care about our brothers and sisters. It's the reason why we stand here.